everyone, I'm Delaney. I've been working on a webcomic called Battle Catnap, and here's how I've been using Hostinger to post it. This isn't a sponsored video, just me sharing a potential option for you if you'd like to build your own website for a comic. I'm not going to go over the basics of building a website. There's plenty of tutorials for that already, and I'll include some links in the description. The key thing to know is that I started with the blank podcast template, but really I'm sure you could start from any. What I'm going to focus on for now is this, my webcomic page and each chapter. Now, a few disclaimers. I've just started this. I have a total of 1 chapter out, and I'm pretty new to Hostinger, so I can't vouch for the platform when it comes to chapter 20 or 50 or 2013. I'm going to be finding that out for myself eventually. But as far as options go, Hostinger is by far the most affordable, non-programmer friendly website builder I've found, so that's why I chose it. There are also a few weird or just downright dumb quirks we have to work around. Hopefully those will be fixed later on. Maybe if there's a mob of us webcomic artists using Hostinger, we can rally for some change. But for now, I'll be sharing some wacky issues and how I work around them. My third disclaimer is my webcomic is a non-traditional format compared to most. I originally planned it as an animation, but there's no way I'm going to animate all of it. So I've been making a webcomic that can double as a storyboard in the future. The key differences here are that my panels are all 1920 by 1080, and there's a lot of them. That said, I think the traditional webcomics could be posted in a similar way to mine. You'll just have to chop your image up if you do that crazy long canvas thingy. Or maybe you could post it as one image and it'll just take a long time to load, or maybe it'll be perfect, I don't know. This here is another version of my chapter 1, but I'll post it like it's chapter 2 for demonstration's sake. First off, I post each chapter as a blog post. This keeps my web pages to a minimum, and there's no way I could post all of them on one page, so this is the option I have left. So far it's been working pretty well. We start a blog here. You can make a template by duplicating the one you made, calling it template, and then building each chapter from that by duplicating and editing it. But for this demonstration, I'll build it from scratch. So click here to add a new blog. Now, this is something I always find low-key appalling. I'm not going to go on a rant about it, so let's just click skip and get on with the webcomic. Here at the top, you have a few options for information to present. As far as I know, there's no way to edit the formatting of this, but I don't care too much about that. I prefer to keep it to a minimum, so I turn off the visibility of everything except the title. But I still fill it all out so I can display that information elsewhere if I want. I'll get back to that later. It's important in my case to set a category for the chapter, since I also post normal blogs. This allows me to arrange which blogs are shown where, and I'll show you that later too. One little side note though, for some reason the date is just wrong. When I set it, it shows as the day before. I could cheat it by setting it for the day ahead, but I don't want to do that in case they hopefully fix this bug and the dates correct themselves. Do what you will with that. I just generally don't show the date. After I have the top all sorted out, then I delete this default section. I go here to add section and select this gallery option. I use the masonry version so it'll display my panels as their full size rather than crop them into squares. So here it'll drop in this gallery with stock images. What you do from here is edit the gallery. I turn this items per row down to 1, and you can adjust the spacing between the panels and stuff like that. This here means if the user clicks on an image, it'll go to full screen, and then from there they can get a bit of a slideshow reading experience. If you don't like that, you can switch this to nothing. You can also edit the animation it'll load in as. I choose fading since it's the least distracting when reading. For the rest of my website, I keep it on sliding, which is the default. Now that we have that sorted, we'll change the photos. Click here and delete all of these. Then we go to Upload Media, and that'll take you to your media library. Now thankfully, you can organize your files here, so I make a folder per chapter. It takes 1 click to go into it, which I mention because double-clicking can accidentally select a photo for the gallery. But here we'll start a new folder and call it Chapter 2. This is one of the dumbest things I've had to deal with that I'm really hoping they'll address. The issue is that if you upload all your panels at once, they'll come in some random order like this. I think it's a matter of which finishes uploading first. There's no way to sort it by name, which is what I need. So until they offer that option, this is the wacky way I deal with this. I could just bring them all into my gallery and sort them from there, but that's inconvenient since it doesn't show file name in the gallery edit mode and there's still a mess in the media folder. So what I do is drag and drop them one by one, starting from the bottom, so when I finish, the first is at the top. Then when I select them all and add them, you can see they're in the correct order in the gallery. It is painstaking, I know, but it is what it is. On a side note, I did this for my first chapter, but then when I came back later, I saw that their order got reversed, so now the last image shows up first. I have no idea what's going on with that, but it at least didn't change my gallery, which is what matters most. So whatever changes happen in the media library, like if you rename files or move them, that doesn't affect them on the website unless you just straight up delete the image. From here, you can see the gallery is working pretty well. You can change the background colors of this if you like. I do it to match my borders a little bit more. Now the key thing from here is extending this section. This can be a total pain. It's a lot of clicking and dragging and scrolling, but whatever, you get it worked out. I'm also planning on adding these next and previous buttons. It would help if I really did have more chapters to serve as the next and previous, but I'll show you how to set them up regardless. At the end of this chapter, I'm only going to add a previous button, and then when I post to the next chapter, I can come back and add a next button to link to it. These are easy to set up. You just have to type in what you want it to say and select where you want it to go, in this case, chapter 1. I don't bother with a comment section, but there may be a way to add one. It may involve embedding code, which I won't get into. I've used it, it works for some things, but yeah, I'd suggest you just look that up. Alright, so now's a good time to jump on over to the mobile version. This often gets messed up in weird ways. Oftentimes it puts my headings down below the body text and other random stuff like that. Thankfully, adjusting that here won't affect the desktop version. I'm not entirely sure what exactly affects both versions and what is unique to each, but in general it seems that sizing and placement is unique to each, while stuff like the text you write and pictures you add are shared on both. It'll take some adjusting to get the mobile version looking good, but all in all it's not too different from setting up the desktop one. So after you've done that, you should go ahead and preview both the desktop and mobile formats. Make sure the panels aren't extending past the footer and that your buttons work and are in the right place and all that jazz. But yeah, once you're feeling good about this chapter, you can go over here to publish or schedule your post. Bear in mind you'll still have to update your website for the published chapter to show on your site. You can also unpublish or edit them if you need to. Just make sure to update your website after every change. And please make sure to check both the desktop and mobile version after updating your website, because you can catch problems that don't show on the editor or preview. One problem I've been noticing is that the mobile version can look fine in the editor and preview mode, but when you actually publish the website and check on your phone, there's a huge blank space between the end of the chapter and everything else. I'll admit it's an infuriating problem, but the way I fix it is by merely clicking the Edit Gallery and Manage Gallery buttons in mobile view, wiggling the section extender a little bit, and then saving and updating the website. Somehow that seems to correct it. It's janky and bizarre, I know, but I'm hoping they'll fix that too. After that, I go to my chapters page. This section here updates automatically to show my most recent posts. I can edit what information it shows, and I set it to only show some posts, so it only lists my chapters. But seeing as this is a webcomic and the best place to start is the beginning, I had to develop my own chapter list to show them in order for new readers. All I have to do is duplicate this section and edit it from there, but for the sake of demonstration, I'll build another from scratch. It's not that hard, but of course when you go to the mobile version, it's all messed up like this for some reason. With a little rearranging it works okay, but this is why I prefer to duplicate this section instead, because you can see here the duplicated section looks just fine. You just have to remember to update everything so it's correct. After that's done, you're just about there. You can update your website and check it from mobile and desktop just to make sure it's all good. If you've updated your website and reloaded your page but you're not seeing your changes, you might want to clear your cache to see if that's the problem. I haven't had to do that though, refreshing has always done the trick. Another couple things to mention If something goes wrong or gets messed up, there is a list of automatic backups on Hostinger. I haven't had to do anything with that, but it looks like you can restore old versions of your site through that. And the other thing I wanted to bring up is that people can download your images from your gallery. So if that's something that concerns you, just keep that in mind. I guess people could always use Snipping Tool to capture your art too anyway, but it's worth putting on your radar. So I think that's all I have to show you right now. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments and I'll see if I can answer them. I'm definitely still new to all this, but I've been getting by. I'm planning on making more videos like this on my whole webcomic process. There's a lot of things my partner and I have had to figure out for this project, and I'd be happy to share those discoveries with you all. I've made an entire 3-mile radius world in Blender for the panel backgrounds, complete with furnishing and props. I've also put my panel renders through a watercolor post-processing effect that my partner developed, and we'd be happy to share about that too. I've been drawing my characters in Procreate, not sure I have much unique things to share there, but I'd like to make a video on how I've been using Inkscape to make the speech bubbles and text. I could also probably talk a bit about my organization system for such a big project if that's an interest. So yeah, thanks for watching and let me know what other topics you might want to see videos from me about. I'm definitely taking a non-traditional approach to some of this, but I'm happy to share my process and maybe help you guys out too. Bye!